Welcome back to part two. We left off at turn probably 58, and it just didn't capture it because I have it set up so it saves every 5 turns. So we're going to be having a little deja vu here when we catch up. And I'll do my best to remember what exactly I did. Let's get started here. Let's hit that guy, move up here, and I think we moved up here in case Kolkata was going to get slammed by these two armies. Move here. We have some improvement points to spare, but not quite enough to get the mill, which would be very nice. And I don't think we plan on going for the granary, but we did plan on, actually, I don't think we plan on anything. We already finished the meeting hall. That means we're going to get some diplomacy trickling in here pretty soon. Let's go with the work camp, only for the production and engineering XP, which we kind of need, especially if you want to expand this town. I don't think I'll be setting up this part as my next town, but I will probably do it later on. What I'll probably do is end up setting up a town down here where there's some more space. I probably won't snag up these game hunting caps, but what I'll probably do is probably set up here right by the river somewhere so I get that extra food bonus. This guy's going to stay here. I do not want to do 5 grains. I want to do production mandate, just like we did earlier. Let's go to the next turn. All right. See if we could do this. Nope. No, no, no. That's kind of unfortunate. We're going to be not doing so well. What I think we should do, and I think what we did earlier, was levy workers, get some um, more IP points going, slam these guys, come up here, slam these guys. We got scribes. That's going to be nice. And then I believe we should go for infrastructure. That oven, the town upgrade, I'm sorry, the housing upgrade, aqueducts, and the extra town we'll be able to get will be very helpful. So let's go ahead and throw down the mill. Oh, no, I don't want to. See, that is not looking good. That does help it a bit. You guys. That was my dog barking. I'm sorry about that. Let's go ahead and move up and go to next turn. So that is fantastic. Was that kind of don't like how you can't see the score. I wish that if something was over it, it would pop up here. Um, that's not going to work, and I kind of want to get my forces up here so we can start imposing our will on them and not the other way around. What I wish I could have done was maybe get up here, because I don't think these guys are going to be able to move in the trees. If we do this, are we going to get any more IP? No, that's still probably a good idea. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. Let's do this. Actually, move in this position, come here, do that, and then we could start pushing on them next turn. You're going to sit here and wait. Do we need anything here? I don't think so. I would have probably got Spartan Defense if I was probably a little bit more aggressive with them earlier on, but because we already had a decent army with a decent leader and we were kind of holding our own, I wasn't in a rush to get it. And I think that the Spartans will be doing a lot more of the assaulting duties, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that does help when you're doing that, but I don't think it's as important enough to go ahead and start using up those points right now. Okay, still 7. Probably do that. These guys might get slammed, but I think it's more likely these guys will. That's okay. They're in our friendly borders. They should be good to go. I kind of want to put another forester down here so I can get 3 lumber on, but I don't have any place to put the mill. And it looks like Kolkata is going to get this, and that's not what I want. They're going to get that too. So it seems like we're going to really need to go ahead and get a pioneer down as soon as we can. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Actually, that might not be a bad idea. Let's rush it. Go to levy workers again. And usually I wouldn't do that, especially with that price being as high as it is. But I feel like we're kind of desperate. So let's go ahead and try it. You go back here. Perfect. And I know I'm going to put a town down here later, but for the sake of this, I think that's where my soffit's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put a forester down there. These guys, it's not the right tool for the job. But if they try to attack me here, they have a river. If they try to attack me here, they have a fortification that has a breach, and I like that. That's not too bad. I wonder if it's worth doing a force march coming here and doing that. That is not worth it. So I'll do this. Deny the enemy a bit of room to heal up or potentially make a castle. One thing I kind of don't like about these um, AIs, even on Grandmaster, in my opinion, maybe I'm not optimizing correctly, but these towns are not always set up the best way. So when you get a town, it's kind of disappointing if it's, this would be a great farming town, but actually this would probably be better. Um, no, this is actually a great farming town once this goes away. But for that production, why wouldn't you put it here? And eventually you could start creeping over here and maybe even deny me this iron. I don't know. I don't know how the AI thinks about doing that. Anyways, let's go ahead and. Oh, that is not worth it. We're not going to do that. And they have a leader 3. That is not nice. Bad news for us. Hopefully these guys slamming us. Who knows? We'll see. And we're going to get a shot off from the town. But what do we need? I think we're going to do local reforms here. Just kind of give us a little boost. Much needed. Hit those guys in the turn. Oh, did I read that wrong? Oh, leader 3. Might be worth it just to do that to kill him. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm kind of playing a little squeamish right now, but I just don't want to lose the manpower. Um, Getting close to knowledge mandate, that might help. Yeah, we're well behind India, Egypt, and China. Well, we are China, but still not ideal. I'd like to snatch up these two cities also, but let's concentrate on the region with the production for now. We'll end that turn. And I feel like we kind of need to do this, but I'm worried about these guys slamming into here. So here's what I might do. Do reinforcements, heal up, and they're going to have to either come over here or attack through the river. Gives me a little bit more of an edge. And I'll put these guys here. Get knowledge mandate. And then we're going to need a midden. Or let's get an aqueduct. I think that should be the way forward. In fact, we're not even going to put the sawmill there. We're going to put it in the scrubland and do that. And so we'll be able to get a little bit more engineering a little bit quicker. And we'll turn these logs into planks and get a little bit more production. I think that's ideal. Force them to have to either attack me through here or come over here. Then we could pincer them. Still don't need to do any of that. To be honest, later on this might be handy, especially when we're playing on the defensive. But I don't think we really need that right now. I think it's better to have the extra points for the utility. So in the turn. Yeah, I don't want that. What I'll probably do is force march these guys. Reinforce them. And honestly, that might have been a bad decision, but we're going to stick with it. You guys stay in case they come over here. We can try to snipe. I bet they used reinforcements, so that's why they kind of recovered some of their health. And I have no problem just kind of eating away at these guys either, like that. It's still not good. And I think if we had a barracks making a next generation unit and promoting them to a leader would be a good idea, but I feel like it may not be worth it. Our unrest is all right. Our food could be doing better. We're gonna get that bakery. Let's go back to civil. Actually, no. Let's go to library. That's something we're kind of struggling with. We're going to monuments, which I actually kind of like this age, and I rarely ever get it. So might be a little bit taxing, uh, because we have to dedicate some workers to building the monument, and that is kind of unfortunate. And this is what I'm talking about. So what I'll probably do is put it right here. It's gonna cost 20, but it may be worth it. Actually, let's do this, and we'll do it like this. Let's build a public quarters, and this is going to affect our unrest a little bit, so we'll probably queue up the watch after that. You see how that kind of fixes a lot of our issues, and it's kind of, unfortunate that it's taken this long to catch up, but what can you do? I guess you could play better than me. All right. Oh, we automatically get pike, huh? This guy has a crossbow. So here's what I am thinking. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's wait. Look at these spirits. I actually don't like any of the H4 spirits, to be honest with you. Machinery's kind of cool, and in fact, I think that's what we're probably going to go to. Only for the Iron Prospector, the Tinker is all right, and to get a little bit of wealth from furnaces, but that means I need to go back and research smelting, which I did not do, or mining actually, for that matter. In fact, that might actually help us a bit because then we wouldn't have to spend money on a pioneer. So let's do that. Go ahead and well, I'm thinking, all right, it's gonna put me in the red a little bit, but perfect. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this guy, switch him out with one of these dudes, make him a leader. Um, and I think that is going to be one of the assaulting armies. What I'll probably also do is get mercenaries, but only for the +1 army size. And then what we'll do next is do this. So let's keep on going. This would be less unfortunate if I wasn't relying on wheat so heavily. And you can see our needs are not met right now. So after the watch, maybe getting a granary would help. By that point, the effect would have worn off. So I think we have to grin and bear it for a bit. Let's go ahead and get you up here. Oh man. I think I'm going to retire him only because his upkeep is actually pretty cheap. I know making this dude into a leader is going to skyrocket his upkeep. Yep, it's now at 8. So I might actually, instead of doing this work here, get rid of some of these units, specifically retire this dude. I hate doing this. And then once we smash into the town, which I don't know if I want to do that, we'll get some of that money and kind of slow that deficit we're experiencing a bit. You know what I should have done? I should have kept that pike and replaced this leader. Oh well. We'll roll with it. Let's go. You are perfectly happy down there. I said I was going to do machinery. We don't really get a bonus because someone else picked it, but it's going to be certainly nice here. And it doesn't mean we have to necessarily put down a town right away to enjoy that. So, all right, Pioneer. To be quite frank, I actually might do that. I wonder if this is their last region, because if so, if we're smart about it, we could kind of lure them out, smash them, come back in, do force march a few times, which it is now 30 warfare, so no good. And I think we said we're going to get an oven, but we also wanted to do this. Let's get an oven first because we're going to need it regardless. And then get the monument, then get the midden, and then I think we'll be generally pretty well off. Let's go ahead and put our next town, maybe even after this one, right here. Actually, I think I'm instead of the mining town, we're back to the original plan. We're putting a town down here. Grab that tea. Hopefully, get all this. And the reason why is if I start collecting these vessels and I go colonialism at I think age 6, if you get innovation, there's a thing that gives you warfare XP and a few other buffs for every T you have. So if this is going to stay a vassal, I don't think it would really help, but if I turn this into a region, I think it might help. So let's go ahead and consider that. Man, our city's growing so slow. So we're going to get smelting. Let's do that. No, skip that. go to the next turn. So we got a target-rich environment. I think that's going to be the priority. But I think this is the army to do it with. And what we need to do is actually, oh man, that's going to be, we might actually lose that army. So what I'm going to do is this. We snipe some of his other guys. Come out here. To be quite frank, I should have done a little bit better with my management of my units. It looks like we're going to get an innovation event possibly here soon, or at least we'll be eligible for one, and that's going to be handy. But because it's so low, that's probably going to tick away very slowly. And 3 more turns. It says 2, but the 0 turn counts. It starts counting at 0. And then I think we're going to do another local reforms because we aren't quite ready to take that. That's okay. Let's do that. Help with our growth a tiny bit. Stay here. We'll do the super monument later. Yeah, he took Istanbul. This might be no good, guys. But if I could take a look now, I might collapse them all and turn these into neutral towns, and I could retake them by force again. And it gives you more options too. So, for instance, when you take a neutral town, it gives you 2 different options. You could either add to one of your regions, and I think it's the closest region, or you can integrate it as a vassal. And I like that, and I wish they would do that with when you take the vassals of another country, but I can see how that could be definitely abused. So I'm going to do farm. We don't have any middens, so we're not going to really benefit from the trash improvement. Housing's good, so let's skip that. Let's do that. Actually, let's not. Let's do this. I want to gobble up that iron. We're pretty far away from doing that, although we did not get officials, so we cannot use our exploration power that we are not generating to get more. So let's come out here. And actually, I think taking out that town is going to be our next priority target. Usually always go for medieval university, and I think it's going to be no different, even though I'll kind of need mercenaries just for that extra army slot. And I guarantee you India is going to do that probably soon, which is unfortunate. All right, slam. Wonder if it's worth just taking Istanbul and Sapporo and then whatever that town that is, and then kind of forcing them to capitulate for a moment, or trying to get them to settle with peace. I think that might be the play, especially if he's going to go ahead and cause me more heartache with getting a extra troop slot. So that may be the course of action. I think we're going to do a midden next. Oh, you could also make monuments. And I think you could use these to dedicate them. Like if you're deficient on a particular domain, you go ahead and dedicate that monument to it, and you'll get like passive domain buffs, which is actually a really good idea. We might even do that for diplomacy. If we had more regions too, we'd be able to make better use of that. All right, here's a new course of action. We're going to send this guy to Istanbul, take it, and try to get this dude to capitulate, even though that may not be something we could do. And so we should consider going ahead to make more troops. And I think the way to do it is to do something like this and then take this guy when he levels up and make him the leader. Oh man, that's not, well, not good for us until we take it. I think I'm going to wait on that. Hopefully we'll get an innovation event here soon. You know what? No, we're going to do it. I think that's a better play. Got a few more turns and we get a midden, and then that extra fish just opened up. Fantastic. All right. I think a treasure is going to come in handy, especially when we're going to start plussing up these armies with additional soldiers. And then, oh man, I wonder if that's a good idea. Let's do it. Let's go all in. If we do it again, we're going to for sure get the town, but we're going to use up all of our XP. Oh, well, we're doing it. Kind of closes up our left flank so we don't have to worry about attacks from over here, ideally. And then we can get a midden. Let's do that. Keep on growing. I know production is kind of not doing so great, so let's go ahead and get a forcer next. Why is that mining? That's silly. Well, that's why. If these would have been clay pits, that would have made more sense, but what are you going to do? Already accumulated quite a bit of engineering XP, not quite enough to start this route, but what I'm going to do is start getting ready to think about this. I kind of like Clock Tower, especially since we don't have a lot of luxury goods here. So we're probably going to pick that up as well after we do some of the other stuff. And then what are we going to do? We got Culture Power. I'm kind of tempted to Eureka this. And that is going to be take off a few turns. And hopefully, it's going to take off more than 5, so we're not going to be able to even use it for a bit. We're not running out of space quite yet. Here's what we're going to do. Do that so we can get a +1 with that midden. don't have to waste the IP points or the space to get another one. And then I'm just going to do local reforms. And part of me kind of wants to raise some Spartans, but they're kind of dated now. So we're just going to do local reforms. Get that Forester up. Going to help with us in terms of production. See, our super monument is coming by really nicely. Wonder if we could put a second one in there. No, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. Maybe if we get another dude in our city, we could consider doing that, speed that up so we don't have to worry about it, and we could just drop them all together, free up some space. But I kind of do want to consider doing a monument while we're in the era, so we could do that. This gives us. Why are we getting this? It's such a late thing. I think we're going to take the money, even though I've been kind of disappointed with how slow these guys are. These guys can be kind of a defending army for now. Let's go and project our will onto these dudes. Actually, let's do this. Perfect. And we're going to be hurting for food here. We are. So let's consider finding this guy an escort. And we actually probably should put something in this town as well. Or spawn merchant, get this prosperity up, and then hopefully this town builds its own walls. It's the issue whenever you got chaos collecting, is you never know if you're going to get that one event where a bunch of rebels spawn and you lose all your vessels that are not protected. It's always unfortunate. I'd really like to take the city, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that soon, and that's okay. Did we upgrade to expand a town? Because that might be ideal if we can do that. 2 and 2, perfect. So we'll probably queue up this. I don't know if you guys saw that. Wrong one. Treaties, and that should give us some, you know what? Let's do that. Sneak in some growth there and do that. That's not going to change it to 2, but that's okay. And it's not going to matter that much. We get a little bit more money too, so I'm not too upset. Now that is upsetting. Let's go here, make them attack through the river, do that. Put you in Kolkata. I don't like that. Get that buff for sanitation. It's amazing. Just one little sanitation and then a worker working in there. It's going to keep us at 200% needs. Wow. Oh, there's a settler. That actually isn't too terrible, because that means if we let them plop, we might be able to take it, and it looks like they might plop down here somewhere. But I do not like that. This guy's being escorted by cavalry. I wonder if we could... I don't think that's enough. Might be worth it to spawn another volunteer here, hit over here, and start hitting them. But I don't even know if that's worth it. But I don't want them to start using this as a front of another front to attack me. So we need more units regardless. We're not going to spend the time um, to go ahead and waste the production time to do it here, especially since we want to get treaties. No, might buy that out. Out. And then we'd start worrying about getting that 5th army slot here. Oh, it's expensive. 14 turns, man. Do not like that. Hmm. Oh, man. That's kind of worrisome. Let's do this. Actually, going to go into that territory. You're going to do this. Pursuit. We don't have quite enough for 30. That is okay, I think, unless they somehow slam into here, these guys slam into here, and they do have a leader level 3. I don't know if that's going to be enough to quite do me in. So if they take it, I lose. That's okay, we could just reroll. I said I did want a monument, so let's do that. Civic monument. Let's go. I think because we're so hungry for warfare, let's do that. We get a little bit more regional efficiency. This I'm kind of worried about. If I lose it, oh well. I just rather not have this guy have it and use it as a vector of attack. But I did waste a merchant on it if I lose it. These are going to slam into Kolkata, and it's going to hurt, but I think they're going to be dead. And this town still has a militia. It's going to die. And this guy, if he tries to slam into this town, it's not going to have a good time. This town might actually survive, which is nice. And then this guy is not going, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So let's pull back, heal up a bit. Stay here. You stay here. You're doing a great job. And then I kind of want to consider, I don't know if I have the workers to do that. And if I had a, ooh, I might. Let's try this. Capital attack. Yeah, these guys are done. So after this, we're going back and continuing the offensive. Probably going to take Bangalore. It's going to be great. Go back to treaties. We need that sweet, sweet research. So I think that was the cavalry from Bangalore. That sounds great unless he spawns another one in. We're definitely going to take that. The more vessels, the better. What I don't want is these 2 vessels gobbling up this territory for me. I kind of want to spoil my regions when I can. And I won't be able to do that if I'm all locked in. And I don't want to create unnecessary chaos by destroying vessels when they are just fine. Yeah, this is going to be fine. Okay. Let's hope this works out. I don't like that at all. Could do is send. Oh man, I don't like that at all. All right, let's call it quits here, and then we'll continue at turn 93. I'll make sure I save real quick, and then we'll call it a day so we don't load up 5 turns away from when we started. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye bye.